Man, I dead don't want to make this video. As you see from the title, this is how I got the name WorthyAdonis. It is rather a long story. I have a little notepad to my left to try and direct me down the path of how I think this should go, but I don't know. This is my first time doing like a camera only type of deal, so just bear with me, and I hope you watch it all the way through. So who I was before I got the WorthyAdonis name: I was ZF Savage Prince, I was TT Killer 31, I was KD Savage Prince going to Xbox, and I was Ninja Swag 13. So these type of gamer tags and labels that I had going through was very, very not childish, but I was associated with the clan, and then I just kind of got distant from the clan, so I decided to change my name to Savage Prince. So I was Savage Prince for a long time. I just kind of stuck with it. I thought it was really cool. But while I had that name, I was very angry. I was a very violent person. I was getting expelled from school. I was always in trouble. I started getting bad grades as well. And it kind of showed going out in public of the type of person I was. To everyone around me, I was sort of a bad influence per se. What changed? My grandma moved to Conway 2016, 2 times a week to 3 times. I would always go to her apartment and go see her because she was about 1.5 miles down the road. So sometimes after school, I was mandated. It's not, I didn't go out of my own fruition. My mom was like, go see your grandma. So, I'm going to go see my grandma. But the talks we had were amazing. I mean, she would tell me about her life. She would tell me about the books she written. She told me about the presidents she's met, built into those books being used for the colleges we still have today. You know what I mean? So she was a very big, influential person in life, and she also lived by that. Unfortunately, she also had a mental disability where she was very irate and angry, which was compensated with medication. It was a very eye-opening thing to me where, I mean, I don't have a mental disability, I'm just doing this. So it's like, I need to change how I act. She would also always call me a Adonis. She was, almost every time she saw me, she said, "There's my Adonis, and I finally, she would say it, but I never understood what Adonis meant until I asked her. She said Adonis is young, handsome man. It stands for young, handsome man. And then she proceeded to tell me about mythology. She proceeded to tell me about Greek mythology and Norse mythology and Chinese mythology. And she's a very well-educated person, and she was running through all of these Greek gods and Norse gods and Aztec gods and the different ones there are. And she said, "You remind me so much of Adonis, not only because you are a young, handsome man, but I feel as if you're gonna get all the ladies." I honestly didn't really think any of it at that point at all. She labeled me as Adonis, and it kind of stuck with me. She passed within the same year. It made me realize that this is not really who I need to be, and this is not really what I need to be doing in life. This is around the freshman year of high school, so it was very dark times for me. It was kind of the reason I was fighting a lot, being mean to white people. Sorry about that, guys. I was going through kind of a caterpillar to butterfly stage where I was trying to figure myself out and rebuild myself from the ground up. Around 2015, Battle Odyssey was a mobile game where you just had to match some colors and you dealt damage and you defeated some enemies. And And you're like, what the fuck is Tevin talking about? And how does this tie into his name? Well, I'm gonna get to that. All right, just bear with me. It was on the venue iPads, you know, the mix between the two. And it consumed my life to the point where I wasn't very adamant in getting to really acknowledge public friends. I kind of grew distant over the next year, but after that year, I mean, not so much. I began to be popular again and talk to people and getting to know everyone and build a personality. I was playing Battle Odyssey almost every single day I got home. It was the first thing I opened. It was the last thing I saw before I went to sleep. It was amazing. It really was. Battle Odyssey also had a global chat. Now, this global chat I never really acknowledged until one update where they removed the global chat and went to regional. They went to a regional chat. So I was talking to other English speaking people that would pop up on the bottom of your screen, but you didn't have to acknowledge it. You didn't have to open it at all. You didn't have to, but it was there. You know, it was always there every time you play the game. When I moved to regional, I wondered like, what I should dabble. You know, I could dabble. I could dabble in the little talky in the gaming. So I proceeded to talk to these random strangers for until 4 o'clock to 3 in the morning, almost every single day. And it consumed me. It really did. The group of people in this chat were called the Unwanted, and they would role play as if they were gods, deities, demigods, imps, and humans. They all lived in one big mansion, a big old mansion that spanned over 800 yards worth of just house. And we all lived in this one house. And there's about 20 of us in this house, all role playing in the regional chat in the game. And I introduced myself in the chat, and one of the leaders of the group, Shade, gave me my backstory. He gave me my name, and he told me where I was sleeping in the house. They also gave me the rules rundown, and they gave me everything I needed to start participating in this role-playing chat. My backstory, if you really want to know, I was found in a war-torn city, about half the continent away. I was trying to find medical supplies for my family, not knowing my family was already dead. I was too young and naive to understand that my family was already dead. And that's the character projected me as, because I doxed myself as a child. I told them I was I think I told them I was 15, and they were like, "Oh man, you know, you're just a kid," you know. So Shade labeled me as a kid with my backstory as well, a naive kid. One of the other characters, Hotshot, he found me and healed me because I was also blind. I told him I was I was hard of seeing as well. I had my left eye had bad vision. They give a nigga sight. They took me home, cleaned me up, and was getting me to understand what was really happening and what happened to where I was from. So boom, that's my backstory. And then Shade presented me with a name. I didn't even get to give them suggestions. He just labeled me with a name, and my name was Adonis. So in both sense, my grandma gave me the Adonis name, and then inside this game, he labeled me with Adonis again. You are unveiled as Adonis, the young, handsome man that you are. I was like, that works for me. I was already called, Adonis sometimes in real life. They were like, oh shit, no way, so it kind of worked out. The section of the house that I stayed in was for the untrusted newcomer. I couldn't leave this section of the facility until these people could trust me, and they didn't need to kill me off. You know what I mean? Because sometimes some people came into the chat and they were very vulgar, calling people some names, being very mean and nasty, and they didn't really get to understand the fun that they could have. You know what I mean? So they took him in the house and then they killed him off, like in the story. You know what I mean? They put me in the side of the house and they told me that I can only leave out certain wings under supervision of someone else higher up. So whenever I wanted to venture out, I needed permission from someone else in the hierarchy to go out and search for supplies and build a story and this, that, and the third. Go eat, you know, stuff like that. And until I was deemed trustworthy, I wasn't going to leave that area. That's what I did. Day in, day out, with these people, just role playing in the chat. We eventually grew so attached that we ventured on to different games. Black Ops 3 together, we played Minecraft together. 2017 came along, and I think Fortnite came out by then. GTA 5 was a really big one. There was two people in particular that we became the three amigos. Louise, Danny, and I. Louise was a struggling mother who lost her child due to drug abuse. She was battling this drug abuse for years and years and years to eventually she lost her child to a custody battle. Me, her, and Danny would spend our days playing GTA because Louise felt as if this was the only place she was beautiful. She was a little overweight. She was also battered and bruised by her significant other, and the drugs as well did damage to her. And she was growing ever so strong day by day, day in and day out. And I just felt like I needed to be there to help her get out of this funk of I need drugs. This is also the part where I felt as if I needed to grow up to be there and understand what's really happening to her. Important to get her back on the right track. She eventually opened her own side hustle to get her out of the I need drugs funk. She put something else in its place, which was building little knickknacks and selling them, and it worked. She became sort of a little star. Obviously she's not like a super big huge person, but her business did get traction, and she began selling more to the point where she was drug free for a year and a half, and was very distant from the game because she was just trying to work so hard on getting her son back. We did have connections through Facebook, and I did see what she looked like and what her son looked like and her happy photos and stuff like that because of the close connection we had built. Danny was a college student. Who struggled with mental health. He was very depressed, quiet, very timid person who was also kind of foreign. So people who couldn't quite understand what he was saying was very pushed back with trying to get to know him because they didn't want to put in the effort to get to know him. His different beliefs, his different opinions and stuff of that nature. But again, I had to grow up and mature in a way to where I can understand what's going on with him and I can understand where he's coming from. And so I got to know him. I got to be his friend. We send memes to each other. We send videos to each other. He sends me music videos from overseas, and I listened to them. I'm like, that was cool. Do you have any other material that we could, listen to? And we grew close. He added me on Facebook, and I got to see what he looked like. He got to see what I looked like, my family, his family, this, that, and the third, just trading back and forth. And it was just such a pleasant experience because I'm blessed because it wasn't nothing sexual, blessing, goddamn. And these different themes and beliefs, getting to know other people, getting to know their situation, the hard times, drugs, sex, abuse, mental health. I had to get to understand those between 15 years old and 18 years old. I had to grow up and mature at such a young age in these different themes than other people would. And that's why I feel like I am such a understanding and loving person compared to other people. I feel like it was such a blessing for me to go through, and it helped me grow as a person to get out of that angry child. I need to fight everybody. Everyone's my enemy. Bad grades, getting expelled, going to alternative school. I grew out of that, and I became a very loving and forgiving person that I can love myself for. And my closing points is that I know that if those people that I was role playing with, and Louise and Danny, I feel like if they saw me now, this big house, my loving wife, the vehicle I have, and my attitude now and how I present myself, and I'm also a veteran, I feel like they would say that I was worthy now to get out of that section of the house, and I could pass through that barrier that I wasn't to before when I was younger. They could trust me. And that's how I got the name WorthyAdonis, was because I feel like now I'm worthy to pass that barrier that I was stuck in when we were role playing. I really do hope you guys enjoyed my backstory and my explanation for my name. I will see you guys later.